Get the translation going.
Got it.
Okay, so sorry for that. The usual technology fun and games. So again, today we are very lucky that we've got Brother Charlie with us. And I think most of you know Brother Charlie, but those of you who don't, he's been with Baba for more than 50 years and he is our RC for this region. And Charlie Bai is a very amiable person, at least for all the years that I've known him. And I think most of you who do know him also have a similar experience. And he's also a very Gyani Yogi instrument of Baba and also the RC for our region. Charlie Bai has had the greatest fortune to be very close to most of the seniors since coming to Baba in 1975. Now, moving on to today's program, just to give you an idea what the program is going to look like. The program is going to be divided into three parts. So the first 20 minutes, there'll be a sharing by Charlie Bai. And then the next 20 minutes, there's going to be Q&A, and the last 20 minutes we'll have meditation together. So what I would like to highly encourage you to do is to get your questions out. And the best way to do that is if you can actually put them in the chat, and if you can send it to me, I will be able to ask those questions to Charlie Bai. And being our last session, I think it's the best to make the most of the opportunity that we've got. So without further ado, I don't want to be spending all the evening talking to you. I'm sure you would love to hear from Charlie Bai. So over to you, Charlie Bai.
So thank you so much, Satish Bai. And thank you, everybody. It's lovely to be back with Dilaram. And we're into the final week. And as you know, it's been extended for another 7 days. But today is a very special day in the Brahmin calendar. We've just celebrated the 18th of January, and I know that that's in the hearts of the whole divine family, how this incredible example of Baba in front of us. But today was the day 57 years ago that Baba came and spoke the first Avyak Moli. I'm sure you've read it, but it's an amazing Moli because it was the first of a whole new chapter in the Yajna. And it's really interesting to read that Moli and see how Baba came and he actually set up the next sort of way the Yajna would run. And he appointed Didi Manmohini in the Moli. He said, she's with you anyway, meaning that when Mama left the body, Didi Ji actually came to Madhaban in 1965 and in a way played Mama's role. And then Baba said Prakashmani will help her. So they were together until Didi Ji left the body in 1983. But Baba even sets out in that Moli that we will revise the Sakar Molis. And so the whole beginning of the new chapter was on this day 57 years ago. So I think what we've all loved, the feedback I'm having, is that Dilaram takes us back to the essence of this life, which is fundamentally a life to get to know Baba and get to go know Baba much more intimately. And the feedback I've been having is that this is many souls' experience over the last 3 weeks. And you know, in the Gita, to me, when I read this, and even Baba mentions in the Sakar Molis that out of millions, only a few will recognize me. And out of those few, only a handful understand me as I truly am. And that's always been a great challenge for me. You know, how much do I really know Baba as he is? And this is really our quest, I feel, because the more I have an accurate understanding of Baba, the more I transform and I experience God as he is and what he is. So Sangamyug is really the heart of Sangamyug is getting to know Baba more deeply, having an intimate relationship with Baba, not just sitting believing, but experiencing Shiv Baba and even the connection with Brahma Baba Bapdada as well. And, I often ask myself this question, if the whole of Sangamyug is getting to know Baba and the Dilaram Bhatti, all the titles are revealing facets of Baba's personality, how deeply have I recognized Baba? It's an interesting question, isn't it? And for me, the first step of recognition is through the intellect. And we've all done that because that's why we're sitting here listening to this event, because I recognize Baba's form, name, time period, qualities. I actually have an intellect to know God. And I remember once Baba said the number one virtue of all virtues is to have an intellect that can recognize God. All of us have this absolute fortune, as only about 0.1% of the world's population does, or no less than that, 0.01 or 2. But the second recognition, the first recognition through the intellect gives me some power. But the second recognition is through the heart, gives me much greater power, where my heart really recognizes there's no more attractive soul. Baba's eternally pure. And when I really begin to grasp that personality, and through my heart, really Baba becomes my true beloved. I just don't have faith like through the intellect, but my heart recognizes the beauty. My heart recognizes this soul, this divine being. And so natural love emerges. But even I think there's another step, is to recognize Baba through my conscience. And what I mean by that is that I understand Baba's directions. They're going to make me pure when I follow Baba's directions. And often I think, oh, I'm following Srimat. But when Srimat becomes me, Baba's directions become who I am. My conscience protects me. Because whenever I'm pulled by my desires or my old sanskaras to do something against Srimat or against my truth, the red light goes off in my conscience, because it's my Srimat, it's who I am. I'm becoming a pure soul. And that, when I really follow Srimat, I can absorb Baba's Gyan more deeply. Baba says many times, I have much deeper yoga. So have I really recognized Baba clearly through the intellect? Have I really recognized Baba through the heart, the absolute beauty of Baba? But have I really recognized Baba through my conscience? In other words, Baba's Srimat is just sitting in the vessel of my intellect. I can't go against it because that's who I am. It's my truth. And what are the signs that I've really deeply recognized Baba? I will let go sorrow. I will let go this habit of taking sorrow from the self, from people, from situations, and I will also let go the habit of giving sorrow. Many devotees, many religious people have such faith in God. Sometimes I'm astounded, but they're still quite unhappy. The proof I've really recognized Baba, I'm following Baba, is that I will really let go my sorrow. I will leave it. And this addiction to taking sorrow is such a deep thing. But when I know who Baba is and I follow Baba, I'm going to let that go. Secondly, I feel the second sign I've really recognized Baba on a deep level, I let go all my limitation. I don't speak to myself in my mind that, oh, I can't do this because of my gender or my education or my age or anything. I step beyond all the self-imposed limitations, the prison of limitations, even the thoughts, oh, I'm shy, or I've never done it before, or this or that or whatever, because I'm an eternal soul. And the more I'm body conscious, I just limit myself. So the more I recognize the one who's limitless, I become like him, much more unlimited in that way. The third thing is I'd say that there will be deep change in the self. It's not that I just believe Baba and yet I'm the same, because the more I really remember Baba, I become like the one I love. And there's deep shifts in the soul. And so I feel myself changing, and that gives me the enthusiasm to change more. And fourthly, I feel no one will pull my heart, whoever they are. And when I say pull my heart, either through attraction or repulsion. I will go beyond this game of really being attracted to a personality, the name and form of someone, impressed by someone, influenced by someone, or this deep habit of disliking. Really, disliking is very body conscious. So it's like there's signs that really show that I know who Baba is and this personality. Sometimes I just think, Baba's a living, pulsating, aware being that does not have a body. And our quest is to relate to him, even though I have a body, I'm living in my sense organs. And that's why the more I become bodiless, the more I feel close to Baba. But some years ago, I remember that I realized that I do recognize Baba, but how much am I still under the influence of my old sanskaras or my devotional approach to Baba? Our whole approach for half a cycle has been through a whole set of different sanskaras of devotion. And often that influences my relationship with Baba. And one sanskara we've had for half a cycle is searching. We were searching for God. We are the old souls. In our memory track, I've known Baba. And so sometimes even after Gyan, there's this deep doubt. Have I really found? Is this really the truth? Is this really who I am? Because this habit of searching, and it creates a sense of hopelessness, or it has, because I feel I will never find really where I belong or who I am. And sometimes in Gyan, this hopelessness or self-doubt is quite strong. And that's where, I really need to learn how deeply recognize Baba and begin to trust Baba. And actually it takes time for some, because this sanskara of self-doubt, is this really the truth? Have I really found the right destination? So this sanskara of bhakti can be quite strong. Probably one of the strongest sanskaras that interferes with this deep relationship with Baba is fear of God and fear of God's authority. Because devotion, religions taught fear of God to control people. It was where otherwise, people do what they want and to control the masses. So, if you don't do this, God will punish you. If you don't do that, you'll go to hell. Threats. And even sometimes, if you don't do these actions or you do that action, you'll be born as a rabbit or a goat or something like that. They're threats really for people to follow. And sometimes I think that the law says that where there's fear, there's no love. Love is really letting go of fear. And that fear doesn't really allow me to come close, because this whole journey is knowing Baba, coming closer to Baba, recognizing Baba, experiencing Baba as he is. Fear will keep me at a distance. And the sanskara of feeling inferior or impure. All of us enter this life with such a deep sanskara, and it has a huge effect on my relationship. And yet it was religion that has actually created this sanskara. For half a cycle, all of us are the ones who've gone to the temples, the churches, the mosques, whatever. Oh God, you're so pure, you're so divine, and I'm so impure. That sort of confession relieves my conscience of my bad behavior. or my bad actions. But this habit of you're so pure and I'm so impure, comparing and positioning myself as deeply inferior, deeply impure, deeply not good enough. My experience is this is the most powerful obstacle in our Brahman life. And yet, Baba is the opposite. In bhakti, it's, become pure and you can know God. So people do all sorts of things, challenges. But Gyan is know God and you will become pure. It's the absolute opposite. And this is where really I feel that I have to really, it's my duty to step back into my self-respect and let go this addiction. And it is an addiction to a sense of inferiority, a sense of not being good enough. And it's my right. And when I went to Madhaban the first time, I was taking leave from Didi Manmohini, wonderful yogi. And I was saying, thank you, Didi, thank you, Didi. She said, no, thanks. It's your right. And really, it's my right to be loved by Baba. It's my right to belong to Baba. I'm worthy of that. And when I need deep gyan to remove this block, this sense of inferiority, which affects every part of my life and mainly my relationship with Baba. So this sanskara of religion, of devotion, also very strong. Well, the sanskara that God is just a belief or a concept, because religions I find these days are not about experience, they're just about belief and theory. So it's a bit dry and it's a bit cold. And yes, I'm a Brahmin. Yes, I follow Srimat, but I'm a bit sort of flat, empty. There's no heart in it because I see Baba more as a point of light. I don't see Baba as my lover, my best friend, a personality that's supporting me and loving me and holding me in that way. So sometimes that's sanskara of just a belief or a concept. And, really experiencing. Once I was walking in front of Baba when we used to walk and take a few seconds of drishti. And Baba stopped a few of the older brothers from foreign countries. And he's shared some beautiful things, but 4 or 5 times Baba said, create new experiences in yoga. To me, this is the way to sustain myself. Because I think many at the beginning have a few experiences and then not much. And so we get a bit bored. So my intellect wanders. And to sort of compensate that, we get lost in service or lost in the Brahmin family because I'm not being sustained by spiritual experience. And that's an art form to really become bodiless and experience. So sometimes that sanskara, all of these sanskaras that we carry from devotion influence my relationship. And this is the deep work of really working through them, I would say. Even the sanskara of God being omnipresent. There's no warmth in the relationship. A lot of us have believed that. We don't believe it now, but sometimes that just means if God's everywhere, I can't really connect. There's no real warmth or belonging. Or the sanskara, it's all my effort. Baba's somewhere way up there, a long way away, and I just slogging away doing the hard work down here. No, Baba is there working for me. He's my real father, my eternal father. A parent always loves and wants to help the child. Baba is always trying to help me. He's real. He's present. He's really trying to help me, move forward in this way. And that's where I think, we need to really get the sense of Baba and the sense of the sanskaras in me that are blocking my relationship and not feeling bad about them. It's a part of the journey. This is the life. And this whole Dilaram Bhatti is really encouraging me to let go of these old sanskaras, understand Baba accurately how he is. Even worshipping gross images, if I can say, we've done that. We've worshipped goddesses and gods and prophets and all sorts of things. So there's these very physical images in front of me. So I can't really experience the subtlety there is nothing more subtle than Baba. You know, Baba's the most subtle entity that exists. And I remember Jagdish Pai once said that there's 4 layers of consciousness. There's the gross consciousness, just body conscious, like the whole world lives on, where we're just watching gross things. In a sense, we just watch the material world. We feel that's reality. The second is a creative consciousness of an artist, a musician, a scientist, where I'm not really focusing on this material world and just watching sport or television or whatever, but I'm inside and I'm creating the music in my mind or a picture in my mind or a philosophical idea or whatever. The third level of consciousness is what he called subtle consciousness. So there are subtle beings or the awareness of those who've lived who are very spiritual. So that could be, you know, Abraham and Christ and Buddha and these sorts of people, Sri Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan. And they're very virtuous people, very virtuous. And so when we remember them, we get some feeling, but they are still a human form. And I am also thinking of myself in my human form. I remain body conscious. I see their form of Lakshmi Narayan or Krishna. And so I'm still aware of my own form. I'm still on this body conscious level. Supreme consciousness is when we see God in his eternal form of the Jyoti Bindu. And then I become soul conscious too. And so the more I become soul conscious, I really go into a very subtle level where I can really experience Baba. And so this is really, I think the whole of Dilaram Bhatti for me has been to explore these titles, explore maybe where I have a block and where I can free myself and really taste and experience. And that's why I think it's been so beneficial for many. Now, what I would love to do is, as we did last week, there are some questions. We will have question and answer, but if anyone would like to just unmute and share something that you've benefited from during these last 3 weeks, something that's shifted in you, some experience, some feeling. It's really inspiring just to hear a shift or a self-transformation or a change. So if anyone, last week we had a few, and if anyone would like to really explore that, then and share with us, that would be really lovely. You can put up your hand and share with us, and if no one's going to do it immediately, then maybe I'll start a few questions. So would anyone like to unmute and share something, or put up their hand and we'll unmute you? Okay. So Satish Bhai, maybe we start off with a few questions, and then if you, during the questions, because we've got about another 15, 20 minutes of questions, if you do want to share something, just put the little icon of your hand up and Satish Bhai can unmute you, or just tell us and we can listen. We'd love to hear some experiences. Satish Bhai?
Thank you, Charlie Bhai. Yes, a couple of questions have come in. The first one being, I feel I have recognized Baba, but I'm unable to free myself from subtle, limited desires. What can I do to free myself from them, to have deeper experiences of Baba?
Yes, I think that all of us have 3 layers of recording in the soul, in the form of desires and karmic stories, etc. The first is habits. The habits of this life, they often go quite quickly. And they can be sleeping habits and, food habits, desires for food, and all sorts of things like that. Generally, Brahmins leave those pretty quickly. The second I would call soft sanskaras. These are the sanskaras of the last few lives, maybe 3, 4, 5. And these can be things like intolerance, impatience, seeing defects. With effort, we can bring change. But the third level is really these deep sanskaras from the beginning of the Copper Age, and they're things like fear, insecurity, lack of self-respect. And out of that lack of self-respect, desire to be recognized, desire to be acknowledged, desire, 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 desire. These desires are because of a lack of fulfillment. And I think, this is why the more I don't have to fight desire, that doesn't work. I shouldn't desire this, I shouldn't desire that. But actually, the more I attain from Baba, my desires are naturally fulfilled. And this is where contentment is a state beyond desire in a way. And Baba always says, when you attain. So rather than focusing on, I shouldn't have this desire, I mustn't have this, focus on attainment, which is experience. And really, I think it's an absolute aspect of our spiritual study, how to experience. And I think even last week, but I'm not sure whether it was last week, I mentioned that once Baba said he gave a formula for experience, and I find it really wonderful. First, become a point, meaning I open the door to spiritual experience by becoming bodiless. Because the more I'm in the body, the senses pull me for limited experience. So become a point. Secondly, apply a point. Put a full stop to the wandering mind, to, desires, I suppose you'd say, these limited desires, which pull my mind here, pull my mind there. Put a full stop to overthinking. And thirdly, remember a point. And really, when I'm a bodiless soul with less thinking and more feeling, then that attainment, automatically the desires will come less and less and less. For me, as I've often said, all desires can almost go when you experience being completely loved, a sense of complete belonging. And when that's there, that's all you need in life. Honestly, you feel completely like I have what I need in my life. Even if I don't have much money or whatever, it doesn't matter. I attain this love, which is the highest and pinnacle experience, the love, the belonging, the closeness, the relationship, gives me back all my sense of security. So yeah, and so naturally the desires go. I personally feel, don't fight the desires, but try to attain, get into attainment.
Thank you. The next one is, I believe I'm making shifts, but then I find myself rolling back into my old behaviors. What is your yukti to sustain a change?
Yeah, very normal, because, we are changing, but the power of the old sanskara will come back again. As often Baba says, when Maya sees that you're winning the game, she fights harder. And so it's not like it's always a straight line. And sometimes, the soul feels that, that I'm changing, and then things come back again. And one of the reasons I've realized too is that when we come to Gyan, we often suppress a lot, because this is our religious sanskara too. On the surface, I look good, I wear white clothes, I wear my badge, I look the part, But sometimes in my mind, the 5 vices are really raging, anger, ego, lust, greed, and attachment, And so I sort of feel I lose self-respect because of that sometimes, seeing that I'm living a Brahman life. But what I've learned is really just to understand it's a journey. Understand I'm on a journey of change. The vices will come back with strength sometimes. And I often say that, and I remember Didi Nirmala talking about this too, that many Brahmins have what we call like a midlife crisis. You start with Baba, you go forward with Baba, and you do change. You change your habits and you change your nature. And then sometimes after 5 years, 10 years, lots of rubbish comes. Even sometimes it feels like I'm worse than I was before. And deep self-doubt kicks in. Can I do this life? Can I really become pure? But this is because I've suppressed a lot. I've suppressed a lot. And that rubbish will come out at some time. It's not failure and it's not going backwards. It will happen that sometimes after many years, some rubbish. And I even remember Sister Jayanti saying that, we all have so much love and respect for her and her spirituality. After 6 years in Gyan, a lot of anger came out in the form of irritation. And she said, even before Gyan, I wasn't like that. And so sometimes we get confused. I've been a Brahmin for 6 years. Now I'm all irritated and frustrated. It's not working. And then the self-doubt kicks in. Should I be a Brahmin? Can I become pure? Maybe I shouldn't go to the Murli so much. All these strange thoughts come, but actually it's all a part of the journey of self-transformation. And this is where I often feel wisdom is learning how to manage the journey, how to manage. And when you're going along, suddenly a strong feeling comes up, a dislike for somebody, an attraction for somebody, which I haven't even had for years. Don't worry, but don't also get emotional. Use Gyan. Use Gyan, use my relationship with Baba, and actually, in a way, you're going deeper. When this stuff comes out, it's just a sign from the drama. I have to go deeper in my own practice and my own understanding and my relationship with Baba. The main thing I often feel is not to overreact to myself. Because sometimes, I hear in the Murli, Baba says, children don't have an impure thought. Children don't have this, don't have that. And when rubbish comes, it just reemerges my devotional sanskars. Oh, I'm not pure. I'm not good enough. And that makes me weak. So a wise soul, a knowledgeful soul will observe and know this is a part of the journey. The rubbish will come out. Baba often says, it's like herbal medicine. You take the medicine and the rubbish will come out. Don't overreact. Don't give up, and never, ever stop this life, because sometimes the Maya gets so strong. I have so much self-doubt. I think, can I go on? Am I really a Brahmin? Can I be pure? All this sort of stuff can kick in. And yet, really, keep going. I found that the more I just keep going, keep practicing, keep remembering, keep learning, the more stable I feel and the stronger the relationship with Baba. You get so much strength from Baba.
Thank you. Coming from a very cultural background, it's quite a challenge to let go of our belief system or devotional sanskars. So there's always a tendency to have bhavna for Baba. Is that wrong? You mentioned about removing our devotional feelings towards Baba. Please clarify.
No, what I'm really saying is the bhavna is lovely. The bhavna brings me close. But if it's a very religious, oh, Baba, please fix my daughter-in-law, she's a problem, talking to Baba in a very religious way, that's not Baba's job at all, to fix my daughter-in-law, to fix my husband or wife, to, get me a good job. Sometimes this is where it's just showing my understanding is very limited. So the bhavna is the positive side of bhakti, but this sort of feeling that God knows everything and God's pulling the strings and God will, make me healthy. He won't. I even remember that Baba teaches us Jnana and Yoga to heal ourselves. There was one sister who was quite an older sister in India, and she got cancer. And she just thought Baba will fix it. And she didn't go to a doctor. And before, she became terminal, and she sat in front of Baba and she said, Baba, I thought you'd fix it. And Baba said, oh, you have to go to a doctor, like Baba himself. Baba's come to heal and purify the soul. And he can't fix the karmic accounts of the body, but we can settle our karmic account with yoga. So this is where I have, because sometimes if, some have a lot of faith in Baba, but still take a lot of sorrow from scenes in life. It shows that, yes, I do have faith, that's good, but I haven't fully recognized him. Because when I deeply recognize him, I won't take sorrow from people, situations in that way. So there's a positive side of my devotional stuff, but there's also the negative side too, when I have a very religious understanding of what Baba does and what Baba doesn't do. And Baba repeatedly tells us, children, I don't read your mind. Children, I don't interfere with your karmic story. You have to settle it, but I teach you how to settle it. So have I really recognized what Baba does and what Baba doesn't do? I think it's really, Baba, as he says, I can't bring corpses to life. I won't save people. That's not Baba's job. He teaches us truth. We use truth to change ourselves. So that bhavna is good, but when it's this very religious, devotional view that God fixes everything and God's doing everything, then that's not an accurate understanding.
Connected to that is really the last question is, when Baba comes into trance in the body of Daddy Gulzar or any of the other daddies, is it the same as they do in bhakti, where people go into trance of any of the deities?
People are possessed in bhakti, but I would say mainly it's not, when I say possessed by their past births, and I'll explain. In London, when I first came in Gyan, I came into Gyan at a place called the Spiritualist Association of Great Britain. And that's where Daddy and Gentiben were teaching. And I asked Daddy Guzar, because some said they channel a soul or a soul enters them and this soul works through them. But Daddy Guzar said, actually, that can happen, but it's rare. What she was saying is some souls with such a desire to become pure reconnect with a past life. And if we reconnect with a past life in the Copper Age, we were much purer in that time. And sometimes we were a priest, or sometimes we were a doctor or something like this. So you can channel that knowledge of that past life. She seemed to think it was mainly people going into a trance and reconnecting with a past life, and then they have some limited truth or knowledge which they may give. But they don't often understand. They don't often understand, who's coming through them. It's like Baba explains to us the prophet souls. I don't think, for instance, Christ never, or Jesus never understood Christ had entered him. He didn't really know what the power was. Even it took Brahma Baba some time to understand that he was just an instrument for Shiv Baba. But when he understood that I'm absolutely an instrument for this soul, but Shiv Baba is absolutely pure. All the other souls, if they do enter, or if people connect with their past lives, they're all Rajo Pradhan or even Tamo or Tamo Pradhan. They're not, whereas Shiv Baba is eternally pure. And that's why it's so different. But yes, souls can possess bodies, and they do possess bodies. But often they're Tamo Pradhan souls that enter, and they want to fulfill a desire. So... Yeah, it's very interesting, though, really to listen to the Sakamoli and listen really to who Baba is. He introduces himself so many layers. Like in Dilaram, we've had all the titles, and each title shows a part of the personality of God. So am I still under the influence or the filter of my devotional view of God? Or do I really see God as he is? And this is what a Gyani soul will let go all the influences of devotion, not the positive ones, like I was saying, but really, Brahma Baba was totally unreligious in that way. Wasn't into rituals or any of that sort of stuff. Even sometimes some of us get a little bit ritualistic within Brahman life about things because that's our pattern of past lives. But I really think Baba wants us to be so Gyani and recognize Shiv Baba as he is, what he does, what he doesn't do. And this is really our main aim in the study, and which I think, from what I can see in the Dilaram Bhatti, has been the main focus. Yeah.
That's perfect, Charlie Bhai. Thank you so much. I think that was the last question. We haven't had any other questions after that.
Is there anyone who wants to share something? I would really love to hear a few experiences, if there is anyone who would like to share. Nobody wants to come on and share something? I think we'd love to hear. Okay.
Om
Maybe they're happy
Shanti.
Yes, Sister Risha.
Yeah, this is
on?
Please
Nirja.
turn
Yeah.
on your camera. If you can turn on your camera, we'd love to see you.
Yes. Om Shanti. Can you listen?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Yeah. So, Charlie Bhai, I'm from Singapore, and Dilaram Bhatti for me, I think all these days it was so nicely put all the points and how to break the pattern of the thoughts and what to think, editor's note, and everything was so well managed. It really helped me, I think, for my stage for 18 January. Thank you so much for that project. Om Shanti.
Okay, Nijaben, thank you. That was lovely. Really appreciate it. And Sister Risha, can you please show your camera if that's possible and share something, please? Sister Risha, you put up your hand.
You can talk, Risha Ben, because
You're unmuted. Then if you can't turn on your camera, then just share. Okay. Anyone else? We've all been doing it for a long time. It's lovely to share something. Okay, well, no problem.
Om Shanti Charlie Bhai.
Yes, who's speaking?
Bimla.
Oh,
Try to
Bimla.
learn language. Is that on? I try to do that.
Yes, Sister
No,
Bimla.
just thinking, because not very good at in English, but I still just try to communicate my feelings towards that. Main thing is when I started my course, but in 7 days I didn't know much, but since I read Mama's book, and that gave me so much clarity and connected me more and more. But this month even bring like lots and lots of that. Every day you just listen and feel that, and more to go into that. And it just I can feel like Baba with me all the time, which is the best feeling of that. All the time he's like presence with me.
Wonderful.
And holding my hand all the time.
Thank you, Sister Bimla.
This whole month, because it's like more connected with group activities. So group give like more vibes to listen to other people and get more and more.
Wonderful.
And thanks whatever you all organize all of that. Thank you so much for that. And
thank you, Bimla Ben. Thank you so much.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. And Now we have Risha. I think she's unmuted. You can share. Risha? Have you got your volume up? We're waiting for you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
We can. We'd love to
Oh,
see you if possible as well, but if not, that's okay.
yeah, I think some problem with my camera. I'm trying to put it on, but yeah, but I'm
No
happy that
problem.
at least you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah. So thank you, Charlie, Bhai, for the beautiful talk that you delivered. And I was also at the Five Dock Center on Sunday, and also at the Glenwood Center on Saturday. I was organized by Sister Ranjini. So I think yes, so I have started this course almost 6 months ago, and of course, as you mentioned, that we all go through this journey, and we see the shift, but when the challenges come, we get back into our old patterns. And I think I was struggling very, very hard, and being just quite getting on the guilt trip that I'm not doing what Baba is telling me to do. But somehow on Saturday, when I attended the Murli and meditation at Glenwood Center, and I was at the Five Dog Center the entire meditation, I suddenly felt the energy lift. I think that Baba was showering love on me, and I could suddenly feel that tide that was taking me over. And I was just optimistic, very positive in my thoughts. And while I was talking to my friends, everybody could see that transformation in me, and they said, what are you doing? And I was actually, I was amazed by myself, the way I was thinking, and I was looking at things, and what exactly Baba tells us to do: be in that seed conscious stage, look at the drama. If the challenge comes, withdraw yourself and look at this like a drama, nothing new, and give positive vibrations to the other soul. So I've been doing that since that day, and I'm really, really very happy about it. So I keep continuing on that journey. And
Thank you.
yes, yes. So thank you for that
Thank you, Sister Risha.
transformation. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. That was lovely too. So, as is our program, we'll finish with a little bit of meditation. So let's just now put down phones, any distractions, and let's really finish our fourth meeting for the Dilaram Bhatti with powerful remembrance of Baba. And I will just offer a few thoughts. And at the end, as we get close to the hour, in about 10 minutes, I'll just give a wave and we can all leave in silence. So thank you once again, everyone. And as you know, it will continue for another 7 days. And I think just keep up the practice, keep up the effort, keep up the churning. It's more important than ever in seeing the state of our world at the moment, that we become spiritually strong. And this is what Baba really wants more than anything. So let us sit quietly and reflect honestly. Nothing more do I want than to come closer to Baba, to know Baba, and to experience Baba as he is. But often when we sit, I just think about Baba, and my mind begins to wander. And this is where Baba tells us to really meditate properly, have a deep link. I have to create a true spiritual foundation. Baba, first of all, you have taught me the two principles that are the absolute foundation of deep remembrance, deep meditation. Firstly, mine is one Shiv Baba and none other. When this truth sits in me deeply, naturally my mind won't wander to family or others. And secondly, Baba, everything is yours, nothing is mine. Baba, eternally you tell me that I cannot own anything. I'm a trustee for absolutely everything. So when this principle is deep in me, I let go the feelings of mine, whether it's a material possession or even a virtue. So Baba, you've taught me how to create a foundation of deep yoga. But secondly, I need to look at my lifestyle to improve my meditation. It's often my behavior of the 18 hours of the day that has to change. If during the day I gossip, I get a little bit angry, I criticize, when I sit to remember you, Baba, I can't remember. These inaccurate karmas pull my mind. And this is why, Baba, you tell me to follow every direction. If I follow your directions, I won't do any further bad karma. And so my mind is freed from the disturbance of my own behavior. So Baba, I'm preparing myself for deep yoga. But thirdly, I need a daily practice, an hourly practice, to pay attention to soul consciousness. Your fundamental Srimad Baba is consider yourself a soul and remember me. The reason I don't feel close to Baba is because I'm not soul conscious. Baba is eternally soul conscious. The more I become a bodiless soul, I become like you, Baba, and automatically I begin to feel close. Now, fourthly, love. Love propels me beyond the body. Love pulls me to sit in front of you, Baba. Where my heart goes, my mind will follow. And when there's deep, deep love, true love, I find myself in deep silence in front of you. Baba, nothing is pulling me. Not my sense organs. Not my past. I'm only present in front of you, Baba. I feel your vibrations, your pure love for me. I feel these vibrations entering me, healing me and making me pure. Only you are influencing me, Baba. Nothing else is attracting me or pulling me. I am totally present. And in this complete feeling of belonging and closeness, I know what I need to do. And I get the power to change. Your good wishes, your love, give me that strength to face myself and change myself.